All right, today we are going to unlock a skill that will seriously change the way you read forever. We're going to turn reading from something you just do into an active intellectual adventure.
I mean, we've all been there, right? You spend all this time reading, your eyes scan every single word, but the second you close the book or click away from the website, it's just gone. Poof. That's passive reading, and today we're going to fix that.
And yeah, the difference is night and day. Passive reading is kind of like letting words just wash over you, which, is exactly why they don't stick. But active, critical reading, that's completely different. It's like you're having a real conversation with the author. You're building knowledge that actually lasts, and you're uncovering all the juicy, deeper meanings hidden in the text. So here's the game plan for today. First, we'll cover the why. Why this skill is such a game changer. Then we'll get into the nuts and bolts with the process, your practical toolkit. And finally, we'll wrap up with the payoff. What's in it for you once you've got this down? Okay, first things first, the why. Let's totally reframe how we even think about reading. It's not about just getting through a bunch of pages. It's about pulling out real, actual insight.
You see, the goal here isn't just to get through the words. It's to become a bit of a detective. We want to investigate the text and really figure out, what is the author trying to teach us? What methods are they using? Like specific stories or metaphors. And what's the core message they're really trying to get across? Okay, enough with the why. Let's get practical. This next part is all about the process. This is your step-by-step toolkit for becoming a critical reader.
Now, before you start any deep analysis, every good detective needs to set up their workspace, right? The first steps are simple, but they are so important. You've got to get organized. So whether you're using a digital doc or an old school notebook, create a dedicated space for your notes on each text. This little bit of prep work makes the whole investigation so much smoother.
Okay, now that we've got our workspace set up, it's time for the real detective work. We're going to start by surveying the landscape, getting that big picture view before we zoom in on the details. We're going to start by looking at 4 key things to get the lay of the land. First up, the author. Who is this person? Then, the title. What clues is it giving us? After we read, we figure out the purpose. What is this text actually trying to do? And finally, a quick summary. What are the main points from beginning to end? This gives us a really solid foundation to build on.
This brings us to a really important concept, ethos. When we look into the author, what we're really looking for is their ethos, their credibility. What is it about their background or expertise that gives them the authority to talk about this subject? It's so important to find this out. And, of course, cite your source. And hey, even a quick Wikipedia search is a great place to start.
All right, so we've got the 30,000-foot view. Now it's time to pull out the magnifying glass and do a deep dive. We're zooming in from that wide shot to a real close-up on the details.
Now, this is absolutely crucial. For this next phase, you're going to pick just one sentence. That's right, just one powerful sentence from the text. This quote is going to be your primary piece of evidence. And pay close attention to the citation format here. You've got the quote itself in quotation marks, and then, in parentheses, it's just the author's last name and the page number. No P, no page, just the number. Super simple.
And look, this sentence isn't just some random line you picked. Think of it as your key piece of evidence. It's the key that's going to unlock all the deeper layers of the text. Everything we do from here on out is going to center on analyzing this specific sentence through what's called a close reading. Okay, this is where the magic really happens. Your entire analysis, all that deep thinking, it all comes down to the quality of the questions you ask about that quote you chose. The goal is to come up with these big, thought-provoking questions that are super specific to this text. We are definitely not looking for simple yes or no questions or super broad philosophical stuff. And here's a perfect example of what I mean. It really shows the difference, right? A general question like, why are people greedy? Well, that's way too broad. It's not really about the text. But a strong text-specific question that drills right down. How does the author use the metaphor of a hungry ghost in Chapter 3 to critique consumerism? Bam! See how specific that is? That's what we're aiming for. So we've covered the why and the how. Let's talk about the best part, the payoff. Because this isn't just some boring academic exercise. This toolkit gives you real powerful skills you can use anywhere. Seriously, once you get this down, you're basically unlocking a set of superpowers. You'll get a way deeper, more nuanced understanding of literally anything you read. You'll be able to make stronger, more convincing arguments that are backed up by actual evidence. And maybe the best part? you'll build the confidence to really tackle complex ideas, not just in school, but in your job, in your life, everywhere. So I'm going to leave you with this thought. The next time you open an article or a book, are you going to be a passive reader or are you going to be an active investigator? The choice is all yours. But now, you've got the tools you need to really unlock that text.